Let's go into full details of the chemical properties of matter. Under this, we are going to talk about elements, compounds, and mixture. What is elements? Elements are the substances that cannot be broken into simpler units by ordinary chemical process. It cannot be broken. Our elements, they are 118. We have 118 elements. Some are made naturally, while some are made artificially. Example of elements, we have sodium, and the symbol is Na. Another one is potassium, the symbol is K. Another one, we have carbon, which is C. We have calcium and so on. At your level here now, we will talk about the first 20 elements. They have their symbols. Some are derived with their first letters. Some are derived with Latin names, like sodium. It derives from Latinium. That makes it Na. While some, we derive them from the first and the second alphabet. But we start the first alphabet with a capital letter, like calcium here now. We have Ca. The next letter will be in small letter. When you are writing your element, write the symbol correctly. Let's talk about compounds. They are substances, two or more substances that join together chemically. They are joined together or combined together through a chemical mix. They are called compounds. We have a compound like calcium oxide. This calcium oxide is talking about calcium that reacted or combined with oxygen in a fixed mass. It has its own fixed mass to form another compound. This calcium is an element on its own. When it reacts with oxygen, an element on its own, they form a new substance that cannot be reversed. And it has its own property that is different from calcium and that is different from oxygen. I have another example here, sodium hydroxide. Look at the way I wrote the compounds. Calcium oxide, see the symbol. It is written as capital letter A and a small a capital letter C and a small a. That is calcium. You will not write it as this. When you write it as it in your exam, it's wrong. But follow this trend that I'm teaching you. Look at this. It's talking about sodium combining with oxygen and hydrogen in a fixed mass. Let's talk about mixture. It's just a mixture of two or more substances in a physical mix, or can be separated in a mechanical way. That is a mixture. Like air. Air is a mixture of gases. Different gases form air. Let's give another example. Like dust. It's a mixture of sand and air when they mix together. And it doesn't have a fixed mass. No fixed mass. Nothing. It's just combined at its own way they wish. Let's talk about when we want to mold, let's say, a block. We mix some components together like cement, sand, water. We don't need any mass for it. Mix everything together and we mold our block. This thing is called mixture. No formula for it. Let's talk about this air. Now, can we write it as like oxygen, nitrogen, mixing everything together. We don't have any chemical formula for a mixture. Those are the differences between a compound and a mixture. Now, let's move to the physical properties. Under these physical properties, we will talk about the states of matter, where we are going to talk about solids. In our house, we can see a solid, ice, the ice block, ice water, stone. All of us can see it. All these are solid. They are example of solid particles. These solid particles have some properties that you ought to know. Solid, it has a shape and a definite volume. It has a shape and a definite volume. It cannot be compressed. It's not compressible. Why? Because there is no space between the substances. It is fixed together with a discrete attraction or force that cannot be broken easily. That is why it is a solid. Let's talk about liquid. Liquid, we have some example like our water in our house, ethanol. All these are in liquid form. This liquid has its own shape, its own property. It has a volume. You can tell me this water is 100 grams. That is the volume. It's talking about that. Now, it only has a definite shape. The only way it can have a shape is to attain the shape of the container at which you put your liquid. If you put your liquid in a cup, it will take the shape of that cup. If you put it in a bowl, it takes the shape of that bowl. It has a volume, but no definite shape. And it has a fixed mass or a fixed force of attraction, but it has a force of attraction, but there is distance, little distance that is different from solid between the substance. That is why, and it is incompressible. Let's talk about gas. Gas. We have example like water vapor. Our gases like oxygen gas, nitrogen dioxide, all these, perfume, dust, all these are common in our houses. We can see them. And gases has its own property. It is compressible because their particles are far apart from each other. A gas will occupy the whole space at where it is emitting. Gas has no shape, no definite volume, but it has a property. It can vibrate, rotate, and translate. These are our gas, the solid, liquid, and gases. They can change from one form to another. Under these changes, we talk about change of state of matter.